Alright, so part two of Aristotle. Alright, so in the last one we went from how how functions and virtues are necessary to obtain the highest good. But like I said, there is a process to it. First, it started off by identifying your virtues. Then came actualization, to actualize those virtues. So now we're on to the next term, which is the third step, called external goods. External goods. Now, what are external goods? External goods are just anything that exists outside of yourself. So this cup is an external good. This pen is an external good. This video, the computer that you're on right now, is an external good. So for example, a virtue of mine is that, I'm very good at being a professor. I love knowledge. So my virtue is that well-read and I can communicate. But if I don't actualize them, then what is it? It's just a blank sheet of paper, a diploma. Yay. So you got a really expensive wall decoration. But what is it besides that? Well, unless I actualized my virtues via external goods, then there's no other way to actualize them. Think about it like this. Have you ever met the cat that, has said, well, I could do that, but I'm not gonna, but I could do it. I'm just not going to do it. Well, what good is that? What good is that? If you know that you have a virtue that you refuse to actualize, then what good are you? Right? What good do you serve? I imagine you probably heard it. Well, I could have had my, bachelor's degree or my master's degree, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to go through that. But I could do it. Okay, so you could. I could also lift 500 pounds if I wanted to, but I choose not to, right? So either way, both these people are failing to actualize their virtues, and in essence makes them both kind of worthless. All right. So how do you actualize them? Like I said, it's through external goods. If you are a good singer, then obviously you actualize your external good through the process of being in a band, singing on stage, auditioning for American Idol, whatever. You actualize them through our own inventions, through our own creations. And that's how actualization is kind of, for the most part, tied in with external goods. Because there's no way to actualize it unless it's through external goods. You can't have one without the other, okay? That's just the equivalent of saying, I'm a great poet. Oh yeah? Well, prove it. Well, in my mind, I know I'm a great poet. Then what do you say to that guy? Well, no you're not, because if you're a great poet, you'd write poetry. You're not writing anything. Alright? So this would be a case of someone that may have the high virtue of being a poet, but if they don't actualize it through external goods, then they're not seeking the highest good, and which makes them the opposite of good, and we know what that is. Alright? And after we have gone through steps 1, 2, and 3, after we have identified our virtues, after we have actualized them via external goods, do we obtain what Aristotle calls the complete life. Okay? To have a complete life, one must have the external goods because while being virtuous alone may seem like it's, like it's a holy or complete life, that's not the case. Because Aristotle, he says this very wise quotation that man is the rational animal. And unless we use our capacities of reason to solve life's mysteries, then we're not obtaining the highest good. And if we're not obtaining the highest good, that must mean that we are settling for that which is not good, and therefore you're going to see your society slowly crumble down. This is why a lot of politicians, rightly so, and including yours truly, really hammer in the importance of education. Because if you're just happy with the status quo, you may be fine now. But the second society that's trying to obtain the highest good by actualizing their virtue through external goods, that society is going to become far more prosperous, far much more better than any other country that just says, well, I'm good as is and that's enough. You know, we call that socialism, Europe, or any other country but America. All right. So, so that's what it is to have a complete life according to Aristotle. You have to go through these steps before you can, one, obtain the complete life, and once you have the complete life, then you have obtained the highest good. And as you'll be able to tell from the readings, there's more. I mean, once you obtain the highest good, that's not enough. If you know that you have other virtues, then you need to actualize those. Why? Because the person that does not contribute to society only siphons and is a leech upon society, according to Aristotle. All right. So there we go. We have covered how to obtain the highest good by first obtaining a complete life, and we've seen the 3 steps involved to obtaining a complete life. So in recap, to obtain the highest good, and if the highest good is defined as functions performed with excellence, then the step-by-step process to obtain the highest good is to 1, identify your virtues, 2, actualize those virtues via 3, the external goods, to finally get to 4, and you've obtained the complete life. That's all for now. You do have your first matrix quiz available. It must be completed by Friday before midnight. And the lecture quiz for this will probably be due around the same time. You'll also get one last one. And don't forget that you will have your first homework assignment this weekend. So make sure that you have that book. And until next time, signing off.